Alright, today's yoga series, we've got some hip openers as well as we are working on balance. We're going to start in a seated position. Go ahead and put a pillow or a folded blanket under you if that helps get your knees a little bit closer to the ground. Today we're going to start with a 3-part belly breath, and we're going to start with it and we're going to finish with it. So you're first going to put your hand on your heart and your hand on your stomach. You're going to give me 3 deep breaths in and fully out. You're going to focus 3 of those and really focus on that hand that's on your stomach, breathing into it, feel your stomach expand, and breathing out. You're then going to move that hand up to your rib cage area, and you're going to feel when you're breathing in that you're expanding all the way out to your rib cage, even into your back. You're going to give me 3 deep breaths right here. Next, you're going to move your hand up to your chest. You're going to give me 3 deep breaths into your chest. So we should be filling all 3 of those sections with air and pressing out. Well done. Now we're going to move into some head and neck circles. So put those hands on those knees, and we're going to be dropping our chin down and tilting that head side to side. This is one where you're wanting to think that your ear is going to your shoulder, and we're not trying to pull our shoulders up to our ear. So make sure those shoulders hang low. You're going to give me 5 circles one way, followed by 5 circles the other way. Go ahead and switch sides, 5 more circles here. All right, roll those shoulders out a little bit. We're moving into a seated cat and cow. So when we are inhaling, we're pressing that chest forward. When we are exhaling, we are pushing the back away from us. You're gonna give me 5 cat and cows total, then we'll move on. Great job. Now we're going to move into our yoga flow. So when I say do a yoga flow, we are going to be doing a handful of positions here that will sequence from one directly to another. When it is time for us to reset, we're going to do this yoga flow series. So let's do it 2 times. We first pop up into a downward facing dog. You're going to really want to get those ears to your elbows. We're looking for a flat back, and ideally we're trying to get those heels to touch the ground. You're then going to kick yourself out into a tall plank. You will lower all the way down, dropping down to your knees if you need to. You'll take a deep breath in. You'll lift your chest proud, looking up to the sky. And then you will tuck your toes and you will kick directly back into a downward facing dog. So we're going to do it one more time just for practice. So we're doing our downward facing dog. We kick ourselves up into a tall plank. We lower down from that tall plank all the way down, pushing our chest up high, looking at the sun. All right, that's our yoga flow. I'll be saying do your yoga flow series at the end of every flow. All right, so we just finished that yoga flow to where we are in our downward facing dog, and we are going to be starting on our right side. So kick that right foot up, and then you are going to step it through. You could either jump it through, or you could meet halfway and you are rising into a warrior 1. So you're really focusing on the power being in the front foot for here, pressing into your heel if your knee is hurting or giving you any type of tension. Push that chest up, and then you're going outwards for warrior 2. I want you to look over your back and your front arm to make sure that they are in line. And then we are going to straighten that front leg. We will slowly exhale, and we were lowering down into a triangle. You can get your hand as far down as you can here. Some people may need to stop on their knees. Some people can go all the way down to the ground. If you have a block, this is a perfect place for you to put it, so you can keep that great spine that is straight, but also being able to get that length. Looking up to that hand above you, then you're going to take a deep breath in. back to your warrior 2, and then you are moving back to your warrior 1. From our warrior 1, we are going to be stepping up. You're going to put all of your weight onto your left foot. You are bending your right knee, grabbing that foot behind you. You are going to feel a nice quad stretch. For some people, this is going to be all we could do. For other people, you can extend your left arm straight out, kick that foot behind you, and hold for a dancer. Once you plant that foot back down, you're going into a forward fold, and we're doing that yoga flow. So we're starting with our downward facing dog. We're kicking it out to our tall plank. We're lowering down, pushing our chest straight up for cobra. Take a deep breath in, and then you are right back down to your downward facing dog. All right, we're on to our left side. So left foot is going up. You're going to flex it, bend it, wiggle it around, then step it through or walk it through, whatever feels most comfortable. Pop yourself up into a warrior 1 position, focusing on the power foot being in the front heel. You're going to take a deep breath in, and on that exhale, you're twisting to give me warrior 2. Try to isolate those arms being level with one another. Look back, checking it. We're in a good position. All right, then we're going to straighten that front foot. We're taking that leg all the way down, keeping that straight spine. Remember, you don't have to go all the way to the ground. You can go to your ankle, you can go to your knee, you can go to a block. Take a deep breath in. You're popping back up to your warrior 2, and then you will pop back up to your warrior 1. From your warrior 1, you will step those feet together, and we are going to be doing our dancer on the other side. So all the weight goes into our right foot. We grab that left foot, quad stretch right here. Then you're going to exhale, shoot both that arm and that leg to the back, and we are balancing for dancer. Good job. Once those legs are back together, we are doing our flow. So forward fold, walk your feet back to a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, kick out to that tall plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, cobra, chest goes up, and then kick yourself back to the downward facing dog. All right, from that downward facing dog, you're gonna kick up that right side. You're gonna step it through, or you're gonna walk it through, whatever's best for you. Then you're kicking yourself up into warrior 1. If you have a pillow or a block, I want you to place it in front of your foot. All right, here you're gonna push off your back foot. You're gonna isolate that front foot that was in front. Move that block if you need to. You're gonna kick that back leg up, and you're gonna start just by balancing here. If you can extend that arm up over, I want you to try. If it doesn't work, just focus on the balancing on one leg. You can hold both of those arms down to the block if that feels comfortable. You move into a forward fold. We're going to do our yoga flow series. So downward facing dog, kick yourself out to a tall plank, drop yourself all the way down, take a deep breath in, exhale, give me cobra, look up to the sky, make sure you have a proud chest, tuck your toes, and you're going right back to your downward facing dog. And we've got our left side. So left foot is coming up, stepping it through or kicking it through, kicking yourself up to a warrior 1 pose. Place that block in front of your foot if that feels comfortable. Push off that back foot, isolate pressure into that front foot. You are going all the way straight down, kick that foot forward, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, that arm goes up. Great job on this half moon. If you're a little wobbly now, that's okay. Practice makes perfect. So we're gonna go back to our forward fold. You're gonna walk your hands back, downward facing dog, kick it out to that tall plank. Slowly drop it all the way down. Take a deep breath in, exhale, push your chest up tall. And kicking it back down to your downward facing dog. Great job. All right, we've got our last balancing flow. We're gonna start in a mountain position. So you're gonna have those feet stacked under your hips, palms facing out. You're gonna put all that weight into your left foot. You're gonna grab that knee and you're gonna hug it tight. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to progress from here. Your first option would be reaching down and grabbing your big toe with your left hand. You're going to take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, you're going to extend your foot straight out. You will then take your other arm cross body. So notice that we are turning towards that leg that's kicked out. Your second option would be when you grab that knee, you are just keeping that knee grabbed, bringing it to your chest, and you're adding that twist. Whatever option feels best for you, do that one. Once you're done, you're going to return back to your mountain pose. You're going to put all that weight into your right foot, grabbing that left knee. You're going to reach down, grab your toe, extending it straight out, and then you add a twist. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, you have that option of grabbing your knee in, holding it tight, taking that deep breath in, exhaling, and adding that twist there. Whichever one you choose, I want you to try to hold it for 20 seconds. From this mountain, we are going to be widening our stance. You may want to widen your feet so far off that they are off the mat for this wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, arms go up overhead. Exhale, forward fold down. You're looking for that straight spine here, so we don't want a lot of rounding. You might want to put blocks or a blanket or a pillow underneath your hands to help support your back a little bit more. And you can also grab your elbows for this to give you a nice little tug down. Good job. You're then going to plant your hands. We have another yoga flow, so step yourself back to downward facing dog, kick yourself to a tall plank, all the way down, and give me that cobra. From that cobra, you're kicking up into your downward facing dog, and then we are moving into puppy pose. So you're going to drop down to your knees, you're going to walk those hands out in front of you, take a deep breath in, and then you're thinking about dropping your chest to the ground. Make sure those hips stay high. We also don't want a lot of bending in that spine. So we don't want our spine to look like it's bending in a whole lot. Take some deep breaths here. Really think about having a proud chest and see if you can get your forehead down to the ground. Exhale, then you are going to bring yourself back to that tabletop position on all fours. And this is next where you're going to grab some props. So grab a pillow, grab a block, grab a bolster, something where you're going to want to sit it under your hip bones. So you're going to have your knees slightly wider than hip width apart, enough to where you can sit back and you're not going to be sitting on your ankles or your calves at all. So you want your legs to be out to the side of you. And your goal is to try to get those hip bones to go all the way down. This will feel like a nice knee stretch as well as a quad stretch. And it might even stretch your ankles a little bit. You want a really, really tall spine for here, so no rounding forward. That's what our bolster underneath us is helping us for. So think being really, really tall. Try to imagine your 2 hip bones, 2 points on them, and them digging into the ground. If you start with a bolster here and it feels comfortable enough, remove it and try to reposition yourself where you're touching the ground. Great job. We're going to remove that bolster and we're going to go back to all fours. Next, we're going to be moving into a froggy pose. So you're going to take your hands shoulder width apart and you're going to kick your knees out wide. So ankles go out, knees follow. And notice that when I go down, I have almost a 90-degree angle between my feet that are flexed and another 90-degree angle in my knees. So that's what we're looking for. This is a nice groin stretch right here. It's also a very powerful stretch. So make sure you breathe a lot. If you need a pillow or a bolster underneath your body for this one, go ahead and grab it. Make your way back to your tabletop, then you have a yoga flow, downward facing dog, kicking it out to your plank, lowering all the way down, moving yourself into that cobra. All right, next we're moving into a handful of seated poses where our legs are going to be extended straight out. I want you to make sure that you have a band, so it could be a yoga strap, it could be a resistant band that you use for exercises, it could be those thick resistant bands or those thinner elastic resistant bands, something that you're going to be able to wrap around your foot. And then you're going to want a block or a pillow or a rolled up blanket, and you're going to want to put it behind your hips. So we're going to start tall here. We're going to be moving our wrists in different positions. So start with your fingers facing away from you. We're making sure that we're flexing our feet so toes are driven up to the sky. We want to straight back for this one, and we're thinking about sitting tall on those hip bones. You can go ahead and move your wrists the opposite direction where your fingers are now facing your toes. And slowly we will move into fish pose. So you're going to be moving down on those elbows, and then you're slowly going to be rounding over that pillow. Put your head into the ground. You're going to be looking up. Think about making your chest super proud. So your chest is really pushing up towards the sky. Find a way that brings you back into that seated position, whether if that's sitting up or moving onto a hip of your side and then coming back to that seated position. We're going to be rolling into our back for a bear hug. So you're going to be bringing those knees as tight into your chest as you can, and you're going to be wobbling back and forth for a little bit. Take those deep breaths. Next, we're going to grab that band. So I have a yoga strap here, so I have a little loop that's going to go around my foot. If you have a resistant band, you're just going to put that resistant band around your foot. You go from that bear hug, you're going to kick one leg out, whatever foot has the resistant band, hug that knee in towards your chest. Take that band and you're going to extend that foot straight upward. Really focus on those hip bones both being grounded into the earth. Sometimes your hip is going to want to pop up, so I would rather your hips stay down instead of you trying to kick that leg as straight as possible all the way up. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, and on that exhale, you're going to pull that leg across your body. Now that hip may want to come up a little bit, and that's okay, but we're not trying to make it to where our whole torso is twisting towards that foot that is moving over our body. Go ahead and pull that leg straight up over again. You're slowly going to take it down. Give me that bear hug. Pull both your legs in. Take the band off your foot and go ahead and place it on the other foot. We're going to do the same thing on that other side. So we're starting with that bear hug, and we're going to extend one foot out. Whatever foot has the band is staying hugged towards our chest. Take a deep breath in. On that exhale, your foot is going straight up, flexing that ankle. Take a deep breath in, and on that exhale, we are crossing our body. You may notice that on one side, you're able to take the foot over way farther than versus the other side. Again, completely normal. Sometimes one half of our body is a lot more flexible, mobile versus the other side. Exhale, bring that foot back up overhead, taking that foot down. You're going to give yourself that big bear hug, squeezing both those knees into your chest one final time. And now we are going going to move into Savasana, so you can either choose to lay down flat like this, or you can choose to move over to your side, whatever is comfortable for you. If you choose to move over to your side, you could put a blanket underneath your stomach or in between your legs.